Okay, hi everyone. May I introduce myself? I'm Otno and my colleague is Nara. We are working together and managing anti-poaching project of WCS Mongolia, which is implementing in south part of the Gobi. So our Gobi region is the very desert ecosystem. Gobi region has a very unique desert ecosystems with the rich biodiversity, such as the many rare and endangered species, and mostly we are focusing on Asiatic wild ducks and coited gazelles, snow leopard, Argali sheep, and ibex, and also some rare and endangered species, is the system desert colon, Cinnamorum sangaricum, and Gobi Saxal 3. This is the monkeys. Most of the key species we are focusing on trying to monitor and focusing on law enforcement is possible on this illegal use of this. Yeah. We have in our Gobi region some have some threats and challenges. First is the poaching, and then illegal wildlife trade in its part in the organs, and because we are ordering with China, this issue is at also very high level. And also in Gobi region is that now is mining booming. Threats from the mining and from its infrastructures also high influencing in this Gobi ecosystems, and also habitat fragmentation is also threats because there's so many livestock that hurting in Gobi region with this, and sometimes the habitat fragmentation with the wildlife, it is also have very high level. And also one of the threats is like climate change and degradation still we have. The Oyu mining company is the one of the big mining company which is located in South Gobi and started the activities in 2010. And then from the 2014, this mining company started the biodiversity offset program. And in framework of this, the biodiversity offset program is started to support anti-poaching project in South Gobi to be reduce poaching in southern steppes, such as is mostly focused on this key species. So our anti-poaching project is started in 2014, and we in South Gobi, including in Northern Gobi, and our kickoff the project was organized in September 2014, and we invited 7 law enforcement agencies, which is located in the Gobi, and suggest to unite and build the multi-agency team and to be work together and to reduce and stop the poaching in Gobi region. And there was the IMEC Specialized Inspection Agency and the IMEC Police, IMEC Prosecution Agency, Customs Branch of the Kashos White Border Post, and IMEC Intelligence Agency and Department of Environment Protection and Tourism Agency. All those agencies are united and signed on MOU to be established a multi-agency team in South Gobi IMEC, and there was agreed and started to function. Also, by the responsibility, the IMEC Specialized Inspection Agency is that it has a main role on the law enforcement issue, and that's why this project multi-agency team led by a Specialized Inspection Agency, and Mr. Senior Environmental Inspector Batolo was appointed officially leader of the multi-agency team. Still he's working and managing with the multi-agency teams. So this multi-agency teams is the mostly working under the IMEC Vice Governor, and IMEC Vice Governors approving the patrol plan and budget, a multi-agency team and mobile anti-poaching unit, and generally province governor is signing and giving the general permission to start the patrol in the Gobi region, and giving also special approval to use those money and manage this giving a special instruction to Vice Governor to manage and charge the multi-agency team in province level. So the role of the multi-agency team is included firstly is to develop the patrol plan and develop budget, and then Vice Governor's approving. Then also another role is that they're managing multi-agency mobile anti-poaching unit, which is established in some level. And also the MAT is the managing with the hotline numbers and close working with the border guards and very close working local herders and informants, because many of the local herders giving information about poaching and against of the environmental violations. And usually by the plan is the MAT is also doing patrol on main roads to the Talanjatrat and 2 times a month, and also they are walking and visiting and doing investigation in case if the local informants are giving any poaching information to the hotlines, and they're registering all the information, and then by the hotline is the visiting inside and doing the site investigation. Yeah, the mobile anti-poaching unit is established in 4 zones under the mobile anti-poaching team. MAT team is in Namrum, Bayawa, Hamburg, and Mantla. 4 main zones is that they're involved to this anti-poaching projects, and each zone has now mobile anti-poaching units and directly under the management of the multi-agency team functioning. The mobile anti-poaching unit consists 3 people, including driver, and 4 people. Usually it's led by environmental inspector, and to this the team includes the some ranger and some inspector and some police. From the last year is that the specially appointed joint eco police officer in the some level, and 3 of those guys in some level is working together in building the mobile anti-poaching units. And usually in spring and fall times, where the high hunting demand season, it's the mobile anti-poaching units patrol is the more focusing on poaching. It's from the February, May, and from the September and December, because from the September and December and from January, May until April, end of April is the high demand hunting season, because most of the wildlife is very far, and forest that are very developed, and that's why the MAPU is more focusing in high hunting demands and more strengthening the patrol in the field. Usually they are doing 2 patrols per month in some level area, and around 40 kilometers is the planning. And then each month the MAPU is reporting to MAT's monthly patrol activities. So the one MAPU patrol areas, average patrol areas, that are 13,000 kilometers square, and how that's why they usually planning 2 times patrol in this area, and planning and developing, and usually doing patrol by the plan. And the end of year should be covered, all of the Sum area should be covered under the patrol. Usually they're doing patrol on wildlife poaching and wildlife monitoring, and during the patrol they're also doing patrol on mining company, in ninja miners, and any kind of the camps and other environmental violations. When they're doing patrols, of course they are all doing the data collections against any act, any against the violations should be recorded by themselves. So this map shows that the Talanjatrat, the IMEC province center, where is established in the multi-agency team, 4 zones which is covered in South Gobi, in Mandla, Hamburg, Bayawa, and Namusum, it's the map shows. Then under the Hamburg zones, the blue one is the OT mining area, which is the supporting this anti-poaching projects. This is the border, also border to China, and mostly it's really high risk poaching sites. Yeah. So that's actually what we are doing. What's the WCS roles to anti-poaching projects? Because we are the managing with the anti-poaching projects, and usually our main role is the capacity building through the training and equipment provision, and then how to use this equipments and for the patrol. We are providing with the knowledge, they're giving the general concepts and practice relating their jobs, and also we are providing the knowledge and skills and how to do it, the patrol plan, and how to perform it, how to reporting, and any kind of the skills. And also we are supporting the providing with the knowledge and skills that how to detect illegal poaching and how to work in crime area, how to organize the crime investigation, etc. Everything is that we are teaching and during this training, and also investigating crime, completing because the most of thing is the how to evidence collection is the very important, and that's why have to use everything is the tools and techniques we are teaching during this hour, trying to give them knowledge. So, so since 2014, still we organized around the 19 smart approach training, smart approach, smart basic training for rangers and for data managers. Usually we are organizing and conducted training in two types: the for rangers data collection, and for data managers how to use the smart software program and how to get from those data which is gathered by the rangers and the enter to software program, making analysis and the reporting and everything. That's why our training was divided into for rangers and for the data managers. And we generally 6 smart basic training we organize it, and usually after any of the smart basic training we or conduct the follow-up the training. It's we are named the refresh training and mentoring in the ranger site in face-to-face or on-site mentoring training we are also doing, because after the classroom training they need exactly some practice, and then they are using this techniques during this day field patrol, and then we are visiting to them and working with them and giving the refresh training and giving the mentoring in face-to-face, and also 2 times we organized TOT training in UB into one of the Humboldt. All of this training was that under the management and Tony Lynham, and we also same times learning and studying. Still we have a learning and studying in smart program, because smart program is also developing. When we started in our program, it was version 3.3.1 or something, and now it's already started version 7, and that's why how to increasing and developing the smart program. We also developing and updating everything. So in framework of the capacity building, we are also one of the important things that the equipments. We provided many kind of the main equipments which is really necessary to patrol. And firstly, we provided GPS, telescope, and power bank, and desktop computers, motorcycles, which is really first times really exactly needed the necessary equipments. Step by step, our equipment is also equipment quality, and equipment demands is also developing and increasing. And last time is that we provided the racket one, which is now using in the patrol. So how is that the MAPU is doing patrol, and Nara will be continue our presentation, because it's mostly related to smart mobile and how our MAPU and MAT teams are using smart mobile in the field during this patrol.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Nara, and technical officer, the conservation technical officer. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit brief of the SMART for the MAT and MAPU. So in 2014, we started this project. So and 2015 and this year, 2 years, we working on the law enforcement basic training and, for example, theoretical lessons provided. And after 2016, we officially started with the full patrolling and using the smart software. So our first starting software is 3.3 and using the patrol form and GPS. And after that, 2017, we're using this hyper tracker, but it's in English version. So it's very difficult for using the rangers and inspectors. So after 2019, finalizing the translation of the SMART. So officially it's installed in Mongolian version. So, and after 2020, we officially started SMART Mobile and fully in Mongolian versions and using the Smart Mobile with the rugged phone. So now it's really easy for using all the technical and programs because it's all of the Mongolian language. So before the Smart Mobile, we, as we mentioned it, I started with 3.3 and using the GPS and patrol form. So you can see the patrol form first, and we are filling the field observation by hand. And after that, save the coordination of the observation, we're using the GPS. So there's two separate work and also calculating the total distance. And after that, the MAPU inputs data from the patrol form and also input tracks from the GPS by manually. So it's a two separate work and double works. And also take a photos of evidence, and it's also separate. So all the things are doing the manually. And you can see the line of patrol tracking. It's sometimes it's the line, and sometimes it's not lining patrol tracking between. It's just starting from the 2016. So, and you can see that this map is the point of like an observation map, and during this 2016, and there are a lot of wrong patrolling, and there's a lot of outside of the boundary, and there are a lot of little mistakes of the patrolling doing the patrol efforts. So, and this is a geographic location of the poached wildlife. And also you can see the different animals poached locations. And after the SMART, it's really easy for rangers, SMART Mobile, and to make observation on this device, and no need to write on the paper. And also it's automatically tracking on this device, so no need to use the GPS. So after that, you can take a photo of evidence in this device. So data directly input to the smart desktop, so no need to input manually. And if you use the internet, it's data is syncing automatically. Also, you can settings. So it's really easy, and you can see this kind of picture is in Mongolian language version for the Smart Mobile, and it's the wildlife observation and carcass and other things. And also you can see the total number of the female or the young ages and everything. And you can fill everything in observation fill in these mobile applications. So how it works, and you can see this map. This is a one patrol tracking map, and you can see the waypoints. It's observations. So this observation consists of 10 observations, and camping, the wildlife observation and carcass and so on. And you can see the total distance kilometers is 260 kilometers in one patrolling, and also starting time and finishing time, and total 10 hours this patrolling. And when you are seeing the patrol tracking, and you can also plan in the next patrol plan, and where should we go, and where should we leave the some necessary points, or maybe the next patrolling is focusing on this area, or or this area. So it's really easy to work on this. And this is a picture of during the patrolling. And this is example for the September and October in 2020, because our smart mobile is just started from September and October in 2020. So this is our 4 main zones, and red tracking is October and blue tracking is September. And you can see also there's a non-tracking area. So maybe next plan is these areas. So our last 5 years in summary is the total patrol number is 242 times, and total distance is around 40,000 kilometers, and the recorded carcass is 286 individuals. So during this using the patrol, we also using the mobile application and software, we have faced a lot of challenges. Because, for example, high turns over the staffs, because one rangers or one inspectors just only working 6 months, and after that hired in other positions or something like that. And next very big point is lack of technical skills and interest, and also motivations, also age. Sometimes this young age people is really thing, and also very interested in technical skills and using application and softwares is easy to use. And older or more aged, older aged people are like a lack of technical skills, and they don't want to use the complicated equipment and programs and softwares. So there is a very big challenge also. And sometimes time situations and restrict COVID, and now we have a restriction of COVID. So sometimes not complete the plan. And you can see then these zones, we don't have any patrol tracking and the results. So sometimes we have faced a little bit these challenges. Yeah. Okay. During this last 7 years, from the 2014, there's a key findings poaching cases. So total poached is 160, and naturally dead 37, and unknown death around 33 cases. And most of the highest number of the recorded animal is wild ass and Gobi gazelle, the Mongolian gazelle, and also argal and snow leopard. So you can see some pictures of evidence, and this is a snow leopard, and this is Gobi gazelle, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And also this is some endangered plants. Yeah.
Systems, white koya.
White koya, yeah. And also violation.
Endangered species.
Yeah.
Endangered plants, sorry.
Mm-hmm. And also violation total number is 84, with offenders 21, and without offenders is 63. And also last 7 years result is total penalties around $118,000, and also repaid in $30,000, and reversed is $2,000. You can see the map, the patrol effort. It's a number of carcasses, and this is a years, and it is significantly decreasing. Also, it's we are working very well, and also it's related with the coverage restriction. We may giving the probability of these situations. So this is only poached carcasses map graph. And we are always doing the population counting events and working projects. And this shows there's only Holang and Gotter gazelle's population size, and from 2013 until 2019. So you can see this graph, these two type of animals is increasing the population size from the 2013. So also we wish to correlate this population size increasing is related to the MAPU's patrolling and anti-poaching projects. So at the end of this patrolling and MAPU, we are working very well and increasing the population size and also decreasing the poaching violation numbers. Yeah. Yes, so you can see the really good point for the result of the MAPU and anti-poaching projects. So that's it. If you want, if any questions or no.
Thanks, Nara, and thank you, Odno, for your great presentation. So what we'd like to do now is to open up for questions, and we can have questions about the application, Smart Mobile or Smart Collect, or questions about the presentation from WCS Mongolia. So let's open up now to questions, and I see we have some questions in the chat, so maybe we can start there. So who would like to facilitate the questions? Justine, would you like to do that, or would you like me to do that?
Sure, I can help, Tony. So I see a question from Puji from Snow Leopard Conservation Foundation, Mongolia. Maybe Puji, you can ask your question through the mic directly to Odno and Nara.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I just want to. I would like to know that in how you guys work with the MAPU or MAT team, and then is for that. And you showed that in the distribute some of the point map is the poached animals, and that data. How did you get it? And then you have some target area, or just you guys are going to with that MAPU and the MAT team together and then collect the data?
It's collected data by the MAPU of each zone. Manla, Hamburg, Bayawa, Nomong, and Hatumbolog. Each MAPU has the data. They have a plan, approved plan and budgeted by the plan, and they're visiting and doing the patrol in the day site and recording everything: camps, wildlife, poached carcasses, mining sites. Everything is recording and putting out the. And then all this recorded the data is then entering to smart software program. After the software program is that doing analyzing and making the query and then determining, selecting necessary information you should select from all this gathered data. How many, for example, how many times the patrol numbers by team or by person you can ask. Then just in this slide shows the result of analyzing in query of only poached wildlife. It's just I think it's Tony can be more explain quick. Okay.
Great.
I can in Mongolian
I'm not familiar with the data. I'm not familiar with the data, but you can explain in Mongolian to
Okay.
Fuji.
Okay, I can.
Much better.
Тэгэхээр Poache юм штэ. Одоо ингээд нөгөө манай багийнхан байгаль хамгаалагч маа манай хамтарсан багийнхан өөрийнхөө хянс шалгалтыг сумынхаа газар нутаг дээр хийн. Хийгээ явахдаа нөө GPS-ээ ашиглах юм уу, утсаа ашиглах юм алийг нэчтээд бүх одоо харсан одоо дээр ажилласан амтнаа, илрүүлсэн зөрчлөө, каркас одоо сэгзэн бүх юма тэгээ одоо зөрчил одоо гарсан энэ бүх юмыг ингээ яг тэр хянс шалгалтынхаа дагуу энэ смартынхаа дагуу бүртгээд авчаад. Тэгээд энэ бүртгэсэн юм чинь бүгдээрээ софтвер програм руу даунлоод хийгдээ орчин. Тэрний дараагаар бүх энэ датан дээр ажилдаг байхгүй. Ажиллахдаа жишээлбэл нэг багийн явсан километр хийсэн ажилласан өдрийн тоо, километр одоо бүртгэсэн амтны тоо зүйлээр ингээд бүгдийг англиад энэ програм дээр анализ хийн. Тэгээ хамгийн сүүлд бид нар яг үгүй шигшээл за яг одоо энэ тэднээс тэдний хооронд хулгайгаар ангагдсан одоо амтны нэрээр нь заагаад байна уу, газраар нь заагаад байна уу, софтвер програм дээр ингээд бүгдийг ажиллаад явчихдаг. Тэр нөгөө бидний нөгөө нэг програм дээр нөгөө кури 50 гэж хэлдэг дараа нь анализ хийдэг гэдэг чинь яг ийм юм гаргаж ирдэг байхгүй юу. За миний газар бүтээх хичнээн уул уурхай бүгдийг тэмдэглээд оруулсан байхад энэ газрын дээр мапн дээр орчин хэдэн одоо ус цэг байна уу бүгдээрээ яваад орчин. За яг ажилласан одоо хулангийн тоо, яг ажилласан хар сүлтний тоо гэл хүнээр юм уу багаар юм уу сумаар нь гаргаад ирэхэд нөгөө куригээ тавиад гаргаж ирээд тэрнээсээ бүгдийг шигшээл эцсийн үр дүнд ингэж гаргаад энийгээ бид нэр тайландаа хийгээл хэдэн амтан хаана байсан хэдэн сарын хэдэн дэс энэ ч ард бүх дата нөгөө Excel дээр хүснэгтээр нөгөө орцсон байж байгаа.
All right, thanks Odno. That's great.
Thank you.
Puji,
back to you.
Sure. Puji, alokcheno? Alokchen. Good. Okay, thank you.
I would like little bit more to Puji edit. Тэгээ энийг ингэж газрын зураг дээр ингэж гаргаж ирж бүх юмаа гаргасны дараагийн хэн шалгалтын стратеги ямар байх вэ? Дараагийн удиралд бид нар хаашаа явах уу? Хаана бидний хотспот байна? Аль удиралд хизээ бид нар хаашаа хэн шалгалтаа чиглүүлүүл хэрэгтэй гэдгийг энэ одоо яг юунаас хараад дараагийн стратегигаа төлөвлөдөг.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. I know that in the general concept of that and how entering data and everything is, but I just only concerned about that and how just in the, if it's not your target area, people have collected, I mean in a MAPU or MAT team, they are collected some poached animals evidence on that area. So you guys can, during that patrolling, you guys take that data or just then later or some more provincial collected information you are used that one?
Additionally, it's all the information is including into the reports because it's the this project is implementing in AMIC level. Sometimes if you are inspector, you are rangers, driving and visiting in other areas, if you detect any kind of the wildlife or some plants violation, you should investigate it, you should record it because it's the AMIC level in your regions because you are inspectors by responsibility, you should do it. How about the multi-agency team, which is located in Dalton, they receiving information. Information can come from other zones, not target area. In this case, if the map is also, it's the multi-agency, which is the functioning in AMIC level, it exactly need to visit those areas and need to be investigated and included to every data should be included in AMIC report, in AMIC data. It's not think that's only in our project area. It's not out of project area. Should be not included. It's impossible.
Okay, I got it.
Great, thanks, Odno. Great, thanks for that. So there's a question about data quality. So Ali, I think it was Ali who asked about data quality. How do you measure data quality? Oh, sorry, Atai. So this is a really important question about SMART. So it's important to manage the quality of data. You want to know if the data is good quality or bad quality. In SMART, it's possible to assess the quality of your patrol data by checking the track logs and checking the waypoints. And there's a tool called the Quality Assurance tool, which allows you to take your data and to check batches of patrol data to see that your track logs are in the right places, and the waypoints are in the places that you expected. And you can set the filters for track logs and waypoints to see whether your ranges were going to the right places. So that's the first way you can check the quality of the data. Then you can also set patrol plans in SMART. So if you want to make sure that your rangers or your community teams are out there making the correct level of effort or in the right places, you can set spatial targets or distance targets or administrative targets for your teams. You can create those targets and you can create patrol plans in the SMART desktop. And then when the teams are out there collecting the data, the patrol data that comes back can be compared against those targets that you set. And then you can see whether the teams actually met the targets. So that's a great question. And of course, data quality is especially important to be monitoring. So it's possible within SMART to actually monitor patrol quality and quantity to ensure that you're getting targets reached. So thank you for that question, Altai. Looking at the chat here.
There was another question.
Are there other questions?
From me actually to Ogno and Nara about and I think maybe they just answered it with Puji, was in terms of the poaching data, for example, it includes the patrol data, but like you said, it also includes other information, right, that the inspectors receive. Is that right?
All gathered patrol data is included into software program. Then in process of the analyzing, you can choose what kind of information you need, and through the query you are gathering. Yes.
Thank you. No, that's helpful.
You're welcome.
I was just wondering specifically about the snow leopard, for example. Was it the patrol team that observed those 3 snow leopards?
Yeah, your rangers, of course, your rangers, when they're doing the patrol and recording some signs and everything related to snow leopard, but they exactly should be record another data, wildlife, another signs, carcasses, or mining, or houses, or especially hidden place for hunters. Sometimes they build a hidden place or something, and then all this information is included into the program, like data. Yes.
Thank you, Ogno.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so just another note about translation. So we saw the Mongolian language on SMART, and just to note that the whole software program has been translated into Mongolian language. So Mongolia has its own language version of the software, and there are other language versions available. There's a Chinese language, there's Russian language, and there's other Asian languages for which there are translations in progress right now. But for Smart Mobile, you can configure Smart Mobile in any language, not just the languages that have the full software translation, but any language. So I think Ali had mentioned that he's translated the Smart Mobile into Dari Persian. So the local rangers working in Afghanistan are using they're using devices and they're using Smart Mobile with the local language. And of course, this makes it much easier for the rangers to use the device. However, if there's still a problem with literacy, so if you have field staff who are unable to read or have difficulty reading, you can still use icons. You can just set the icons to be the things that people recognize. And so you can match the categories and attributes of data with icons. And there is a set of 600 or so icons that come with SMART, but you can also import your own thumbnails, icons, and you can use those with the mobile app too. Yeah, so for those of you who are smart users who are interested in learning more about smart or who have specific questions, you can join the Smart Forum, and Monica's typed in the link to the Smart Forum in the chat here. So if you're interested in joining the Smart Forum, learning about how people are using smart around the world and asking questions about how smart is used, and if you have particular problems or particular questions that you want to ask of the smart community, you can do that through the Smart Forum.
Okay. May I add something?
Oh, no.
Yes. The first time we started the smart, after this hyper, when we started to use this hyper track, it was then not fully in Mongolian, and it was the rangers had little difficulties, and during 1.5 years we was spent time to translation of the software program. Yeah, it takes time now. It's that they get better, and our rangers and MAPU members are really happy to use the smart mobile in Mongolian language. It's very quickly obtaining our how to use this smart mobile. That's why this year is that we provided with the desktop computers for each MAPU, and more pushing and walk the data main. We are pushing the data managers work in software 6, yeah, version 6, and in the future we would push them use the software 7 next year might be. And rangers and members that are really good doing patrol and gathering data and recording all the data. Now it's another step is that they need to more work with the software program and analyzing and making query and reporting, and because like how to show the patrol efforts, it's a really important thing. And data managers is really important roles, and sometimes it's really difficult for our MAPU programs. Many of the few numbers guys can really keen to interest to have to work in the software program, and most of the little bit afraid because as Nara said, it's sometimes influencing age or IT or interest in equipment use the technical software programs that sometimes for them is difficult. But we are pushing, and it's works there. Good. Yeah.
Thanks, Odno. Yeah, and just to mention that the case example from Mongolia was about the anti-poaching teams who go out there looking for signs of illegal activity. But Smart Mobile can also be used for recording surveys. So, for example, if you're doing line transect surveys, you're doing point counts for birds, you can also use the Smart Mobile application to record that type of data. And so next week, at the same time, we're going to be hearing from Dr. Samantha Strindberg, about how SMART can be used for use in collecting survey data, and how the survey data can be managed in the SMART database and then exported for analysis. And I'm going to also give a quick demonstration of how Smart Mobile can be configured for surveys.